Oh,
So give me a second. I'm gonna harass Cait for a second until she.
All right.
okay.
Sure.
Hey. We're started.
You did?
Yeah, we're.
It's 12:58.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's 2:30.
Yeah. She'll get up.
I respect that, but I don't. I also don't.
All right.
So,
Well. Yes.
yeah, I want to ask. So, damn is okay. I'm going to stay away from like the harder stuff. Is that what you're going to go with?
Yes.
Okay.
It's amazing that you even asked.
I figured I'd be careful, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not. I don't see it as like super family friendly because it's not really like. We're not talking about like
Disney movies.
Special Agent Oso or
Actually,
anything
we
like
talk
that.
about movies. Special Agent so
It's not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, kids.
Bubble Guppies.
Bubble Guppies. The kids I used to babysit watched that show. Ugh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, welcome to the Cascade Breaks, episode 3, I think. Our special guest today is Shea Wadman. I have known him forever, it seems.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming. It's great to have this fun stuff. You also have to be quiet.
Has Barbie used it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And
There's somebody behind the camera.
at the chlorine.
Okay. So let's start this off. Shea, how's quarantine going?
Good. I've been doing nothing of any substance. And it feels great.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, I'll just tell a little bit about yourself. We haven't hung out in forever, so I have no idea I don't
Who
know.
he is.
who you are. You've changed.
Who am I? Yeah, I'm studying chemistry in college. That takes up most of my time. I've done some, semi-amateur filmmaking in the past, which I'm sure is why I'm a pretty good guest for this podcast in particular. But yeah, I don't do a lot with my time, really. Yeah, not much has changed in the last few years. So
Nice. Well, sorry. That's awesome. I'm going to be honest. I don't know where to start. So somebody talk.
Well, I can bring up something that I've been bothered by for a couple of days that's concerned filmmaking.
All right. What's that?
So it's looking more and more like we might be seeing the death of theaters coming up in the near future.
Yes.
And it does suck, but the thing that really bothers me from a film history standpoint is that the movie that did it was Trolls World Tour. I have some pretty big moral problems with that. It could have been any other movie released that could have put the final nail in the proverbial theater coffin, but
So what in particular is about Trolls World Tour that is so...
well, I mean, it was really...
Have you seen the trailer, Alex? Have you seen the trailer?
No, I
Oh, yeah.
haven't. I can watch it right now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I fought my way through the first half of the first Trolls movie, and
What about the second half?
I'm never back. Man,
Okay, Trolls. That's who I. Which trailer? The
it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Trolls. They save the world. Pretty cute, right? Not to me. I'm the type of cloud that goes for this sort of thing. Anywho, what Poppy and Rich didn't know was their world was a lot bigger than they thought. A lot bigger. There are other kinds of trolls. Our ancestors created 6 streams, each for a different type of music. Rock, country, techno.
Do you understand?
oh yes. Tiny Diamond. Oh my god.
This is quality content.
Oh yeah,
It's great.
I mean,
Well, I think I've
Imagine
seen enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
If Martin Scorsese had released a movie straight to people's homes and that was the thing that killed theaters, you know, in 40 years when my kid learns about movie history, that's what they'd learn about, right? I don't want Trolls World Tour to have that moniker. If you guys get what I'm saying.
Oh, I totally get that. That's just so odd. It's like your child
Yeah.
is. What are these things? Like you'd sit all together in this big room, and there's a big screen. Why are they gone? Oh, there's this animated movie called Trolls World Tour. Yeah, it sucked.
How do you guys feel about theaters in general? Like them, dislike them?
I mean, I like him.
I feel like they're overpriced though. Like,
Oh, for sure.
like
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah,
and the chairs, like unless they're reclining chairs, it's like I almost don't want to go because like I'm kind of spoiled and
Yeah.
I like to be able to like lay down, and now like the thought of like sitting somewhere when I could just sit on my couch at home and wait for the movie to come out kind of is just like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, me and some friends went to see, well, it was probably some Marvel movie because that's the trend right now. But like we go in, we buy the tickets, and like I turn around and all my friends look so fat because we have to smuggle things in because it's so expensive at the theater. It's
Was that-
ridiculous.
was that us at Endgame?
No, it was not. I might have smuggled in something to Endgame as well, though.
I mean, I don't mind. I'm all for smuggling into theaters, especially the one in town. So, Cait, I don't know if you can completely relate with this struggle, but I'll explain it to you. There is one movie theater in this town. And of course, like in Phoenix, there's probably 50, maybe more. So here, it's the AMC theater. It sucks.
you've told me about this theater.
Yeah.
You've ranted about it.
Oh yeah, I rant horribly. Like, yeah, I'll swear, but I'm gonna keep it PG for today. Because they're the only theater here, they
It's a monopoly.
they
Yeah.
price the tickets, so it's insane. Like a ticket at Alamo Theaters in Phoenix,
That
Which are-
was
which is a super special kind of like old age theater, and they'll give you food and stuff, but you get these reclining chairs and a table. A ticket for that is $10 to $13. The AMC tickets are that same price, and all you get is a plastic chair.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Although every now and again I'm willing to spend the money and go be uncomfortable when it's like a especially important movie, you know. like Sonic was very important. I had to go see that one in theaters.
Was it good? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you have to see it.
Okay.
Oh, it's fantastic.
My other friend, I think Xander and I were talking about it sometime. He said that it takes place in Montana. Is that true?
It does. It does. It takes place in a fictional place in Montana.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, but it's still, it's nice to get a little bit of recognition.
Other than Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Which was also a fictional place in Montana.
Yes. Could it be that people don't know Montana is actually a real place and just write fake stuff around it? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think movie theaters, especially for big movies like Endgame or movies bigger than that, I mean, that's a fun experience. It's honestly more for the experience. But like I had mentioned about Alamo theaters, those are my favorite by far.
We're going back, by the way.
You are?
No, I mean like when we're back in classes, we're going back.
Oh, we are?
You should.
Okay. Oh, we should.
Fun.
Like Alamo is just, it's so fancy. Like I just don't know how to explain it. It's like a modern theater and an old-fashioned theater combined.
Yeah.
It is. Plus, you can like order food and drinks on the inside, and it's kind of cool. Like you literally get your seat, and then you can like order from your seat. Like you don't have to leave, and then they come up and like check on you and stuff like that, which is I think pretty.
I did not get popcorn. I got nachos because that's the next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got grilled cheese. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a child.
What did we watch?
Didn't we see the second Maleficent?
Oh yeah.
Addie was bad or something. So we were like getting her off campus.
Yeah, that's right.
That Greg left?
Oh yeah, I think so. I haven't even seen the first Maleficent.
Bro, I the second one. I was not expecting to cry because I didn't cry during the first one, and I cried during the second one.
It was a good movie.
It was. I think you watched the first, and then maybe you'd appreciate the second one.
I appreciated the second one. I watched. Oh no, I'm talking over people. This is bad. Go ahead, Shea.
I just wanted to throw in, I rarely cry during movies, but I figured out something that ties all the movies I cry at together, and that's Talking Bears. At the end of both Paddington 2 and Christopher Robin, which are both fantastic movies if you haven't seen them.
Christopher Robin is good.
Oh, it's fantastic. I was so worried they were going to screw it up.
I was emotional.
You didn't cry at you didn't cry at the end of Brother Bear?
I haven't seen Brother Bear. I'm a terrible person. Yeah.
Oh. I don't even remember that movie. I just, when you said that you cry in movies with bears, I thought of Brother Bear for some reason.
I should watch it. I'll let you know if I cry.
All right. I don't remember if it's sad, but
another thing about seeing movies like that in the theater is like when you have like Endgame or like a big blockbuster that has spoilers or something, you might go see it in the theater just so you don't get spoiled because like you're going to see it eventually. Like for Rise of Skywalker whenever it came out, December, I didn't see it in theaters and I was scared for months because I thought I was going to get spoiled. Yeah. And then I started watching them all again, and 2 days before I saw Rise of Skywalker, I got spoiled.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's crazy, but
it sucks.
I take the illegal route for that. I actually saw Rise of Skywalker before it got released. I looked it up on the internet because I was like, I am not getting this movie spoiled for me.
So you watched it in 140p?
I did, but I still got to see it, so I don't care.
From a guy in China.
Thank you, China.
Did it have Chinese subtitles?
I think it did have Chinese subtitles.
That's disgusting. I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did watch the 7th Star Wars episode in Calgary, Canada, in this theater that has, I'm sure you guys have heard of this, seats that move and vibrate with the movie.
Oh man.
Really?
It's so cool. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, it makes it better, but I'm not exactly sure how to explain how it makes it better. It's like, I don't know. But yeah.
I feel like it makes it better because it's like a more like intimate experience, if that makes sense. Like you're like more comfortable and more relaxed. So it almost feels like you're at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more tactile. I don't know.
Yeah, and certainly I do see in my eagle vision of the future that I do think theaters are going to start going away because, I mean, whether it be because of trolls or this quarantine thing, I don't see economically how it's good for movie business, but it certainly can be done without movie theaters, like releasing movies and stuff. So,
I mean, I'm a movie person, and I've gone to the theater, I think, once in the past year, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And you know, if I like movies and I'm not going to the theater, people who don't care aren't going to go.
yeah.
Yeah, the same thing's almost happening to the video game business as well. Like GameStop's been on the decline for quite a few years now, and they've had to start doing merchandise of their own to keep up because most people are starting to buy them digitally now.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Changing times.
Yeah, and this year's definitely like the pin in it. It's like,
Yeah.
we're all going, oh, we can use technology for all this stuff, and past generations are like, well, no, you can do it the old way and it's better. And from the past 3 months, there's an argument now that can be made that it's better to do it digitally. But yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be theaters that are open.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be like smaller, you know, family-owned ones that are going to hang on.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm excited for? Apparently, I saw this on the news somewhere. This is local news, so we could trust it more. There's a that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. Okay, so in Lewis and Clark County, they're building a drive-in theater.
Okay.
Probably somewhere outside of Helena. That would make sense to me. I want those to come back because social distancing.
Yeah.
You're in your own place, and it's just fun. Like,
I think the business is there for that right now, honestly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? Another question, actually. Do you think someday, you know, like Blockbuster?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think someday we'll get to the point where people will be like, oh, no, it's the last AMC or like the last GameStop? Because you know how they have that last Blockbuster still somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that'd be super weird.
Yeah.
That would be.
I feel like we could get to that point though. Like it's not like movies aren't having success that are releasing straight to home theaters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sadly, the last AMC is probably going to get a bunch of, you know, profits just from being the last one around, just like the last Blockbuster is doing pretty well for themselves.
Mm.
But yeah, I do probably destined to happen. Yeah, the last GameStop.
Oh boy, GameStop. I used to love that place, but I used to love Radio Shack as well.
I don't know if I've ever been to a Radio Shack.
Oh man,
We had one in
Maybe
town, and it was
once.
great.
I think I went to the one. I think there used to be one in Malta, Montana. I think I went to that one because we were walking around the streets. But
Why was there a Radio Shack in Malta? That's nothing. That's like nowhere.
it's got a Radio Shack. Puts it on the
Yeah.
map.
Yes, I guess that's true.
I would guess that more rural places probably have them just for actual radio purposes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last Radio Shack in Malta, Montana.
I don't think I've ever actually been to Malta. I think it's
There's
just.
so many mosquitoes. There's so many of them. They're everywhere.
I think it's just right outside of where I've been. But yeah.
Should make it up to a nice place without all the mosquitoes. But
I'll bring sunscreen. Ben gets that, I think.
Were you talking about a hike the other day?
Yeah. Sorry, there's a
Yell at
train. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I like trains. Yeah, so Ben and I went on a hike yesterday, where I summited Tower Rock. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why that makes me happy. It's not like a big mountain, but it was.
It was
Ben can
pretty
tell you.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's rock climbing. But anyway, we got there and I just looked outside and there were millions of gnats just trying to eat our car, like just, and I was like, Ben had been going on about his sunscreen. And then I don't know why I said that like you are infatuated with sunscreen, but
I don't know either. It's okay though.
but then I was like, oh, do you have bug spray? There's so many bugs. And you're like, no, I have sunscreen. like that was a solution. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get eaten by bugs though. They weren't too bad. There were just a lot of them.
Yeah, they weren't really the type that bite you.
Yeah.
Mostly just gnats and stuff. But
Yeah. This is actually sorry, are you going to say something, Shay?
No.
Okay. This is a perfect segue into the next topic I kind of wanted to get into. It actually is. Shay has kind of a hobby, a kind of liking for geology, like rocks and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
You should tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I have a lot of rocks lying around. I mean, I've always just kind of liked geology, not enough to actually pursue it as a career, but enough to learn about it. And Montana's a great place to be interested in geology. I'm looking around. I actually have just random rocks lying around on my desk right now. I've got a garnet. It's about,
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty substantial. But yeah, it's just a fun thing to do in Montana when you can go out with a pan and a creek bed and find some garnets or sapphires.
Yeah.
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 Central
Montana.
Montana's good for it though.
Huh?
Central Montana's not great for it. You got to be kind of into the mountains if you want to get anything good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing with Tower Rock is just this certain type of rock called shonkonite, which fascinates me. I don't know why. It does nothing, but it's incredibly rare. And I don't know.
Yeah. I'm familiar with shonkonite. I don't know it as well as I should. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it's actually named after a place in Montana.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. But it's
huh?
Yeah. It's that kind of stuff where, you know, Montana has this rare kind of mineral that just makes up an entire area. You know?
Yeah, it makes two, like, two entire areas. The Shanken Sag, which whoever named it that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then the Adel Volcanic Field, which is so cool. So
Yeah.
So there's a problem with this podcast. We are recording, but it can only be 40 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I don't have premium.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, what are we at now?
30.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, if I was bringing up geology, I did want to ask you, like, Arizona is a pretty substantial place too in terms of size. And from what I've seen, it's just a bunch of sandstone. Like you guys have some badlands and, a pretty substantial canyon as well that I've heard of. But, like, what's the geology around there like? Anything?
I'll let Caitlin go first because she.
That was so weird. You just called me
I'm
Caitlin.
sorry. Okay.
Oh, make me cringe.
Yeah, there's a long story to that. Okay, I'm sorry, Kate. I'll let you talk first because you live there. But I think I know the place better because I traveled a lot.
More than I have, truthfully. So you do probably, but if I could just talk about Gilbert kind of and what it's like here.
Ooh,
So,
talk about the Santan Mountains.
Oh, I love the Santan Mountains. So the Santan Mountains, oh gosh, that's a good hike actually. There's a 5-mile loop that we did that took us a little over an hour. And so the hike's not super steep. Like, you definitely don't have to like rock climb or anything crazy like you do in Montana. But it's definitely like you look out and it's a lot of brown and some cactuses. It's nothing like super duper exciting. And then kind of as you're coming down, there's a lot of like yellow flowers that are really, really pretty, things like that. It's nothing like super, super crazy. Like, it's almost like stereotypical, like what you would imagine if you were to like think of AZ, And I think you could agree with that. You've been out to Gilbert and you've seen it, and I feel like it's pretty kind of like stereotypical Arizona. Like,
A little bit.
it kind of is, though.
Well, so originally, this is just from me, but originally when people who don't live in Arizona think of Arizona, they think of one of two things: the Grand Canyon or Monument Valley. Extremely like varied geographical locations. And then when I moved to Phoenix for college, it was like, holy crap, because Phoenix doesn't really look like what you'd think Arizona looks like, or at least what I thought. What I did get right is everything is red. Like, all of the rock is red. Especially, huh?
That's kind of what I was at too, because like thinking back to like school days, like when I think of the West, I think of like a bunch of just land and your nearest neighbor's like 20 miles away. And I thought that that's what I was like moving to. And I'm like, this is going to be mountains and dust and dirt and brown and cactuses.
Yeah, there are a lot of cactuses though, cacti. But yeah, in terms of geology, it's really insane. Because especially when I had to come back early from college. How long has that been? 2 months now? Something like that?
It's been too long.
Yeah. It was insane. I mean, just being on the road for that long, you're just trying to stay awake. So you look at everything. And starting in Phoenix, there are no mountains near as big as any of the ones out here. I mean, they're big. Like, you've got Camelback Mountain, which is so good. There's a lot of rock climbing there. And then you get into you start heading towards Flagstaff, and your elevation just keeps going up. It's like insane, and that you get kind of into these mountains that look a lot like Montana. To be honest, they're very similar, and yeah, like Shea kind of said, and same with Cait. Like, if you can be in like 50 miles away from Phoenix, and you can find something that looks completely different than any mountains in Phoenix. Arizona is just very. Arizona's a lot like Montana in that way. I mean, when people hear Montana, they think big, rolling, folded mountains, which are back there. But there's honestly a lot of flat land, and there's also a desert. There's also badlands. We've got lakes. We've got valleys. We do have cacti, and but I think Arizona's like a much more exaggerated kind of that. Sorry, Montana, but I don't know. It's
And Sedona.
Sedona is
Oh
so
my gosh, beautiful.
yeah. But yeah, a lot of it is sandstone. Like, to be honest, a lot of it's just sedimentary, crushed together rock. But it is just so freaking pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you want, Shea, I have a thing. If I summit something, I like to take a rock from the top. And so I have one from Camelback, Piestua Peak, which, so fun. That one's fun. And these other places in Phoenix. So I can send you a picture if you want.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
But yeah.
I have a picture of climbing Piestua somewhere
Huh?
in here. I have a picture of climbing Piestua. Actually, this.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's some climbing Piestua.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason I asked is I haven't been to Arizona, and I had no idea, for all I knew, mostly canyon with a little bit of city every now and again, but I wanted to check.
Yeah. And I don't know if you watch my videos, Shea. If you don't, you should. What the heck? But I have a mega vlog. It's a 40-minute long journey, of me from Phoenix coming all the way to Great Falls. And you can really see the geography change in that. So, yeah. Well, it is time to end, unfortunately. It really sucks that I have this limit. And whenever I see the word upgrade, I know that means money, which I don't have. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Shea, for joining us. It was great. Yeah. So, thank you to our viewers for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.